Hey, welcome to Two Cents. This is our second episode, the first one where it's actually your regular host. Hamid's sadly not here. We'll see if he can come back again. If you don't know what this is, it's the Dollar Views After Show where we talk shop, theory, any news that's going on.
And it's supposed to be a lot more freeform and unedited, too. I thought you just said we weren't going to be this formal, man.
Hey, it's not super formal. It's just, doing some kind of introduction. I don't have a script.
I don't either. I'm just breaking it down. Yeah, totally unscripted, totally unedited. We're just talking, just going back and forth, ready to go.
It's not my fault that, I can speak eloquently when I need to.
I just like crashing the party.
There's no problem with that.
Even though this is our party.
So we had this little I wouldn't say argument, but we had definitely a discussion on Facebook earlier. What does
this is still going on?
Yeah, it's important. What does blockbuster entail? What give your side.
Why don't you start first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the definition on dictionary.com.
Well, that's not fair
for you.
I'm just gonna break it down.
Go ahead.
Blockbuster is a fluid term. It changes like every 20 years. So it originated meaning a bomb that was so big that it could literally destroy entire blocks. And then it became entertainment like a play or a rolling road show such as Gone with the Wind that was so large that rows of people would line up around the block. It would break the block. And then it means lots of things. It can mean that it's a high grosser, like it broke the bank. It can mean that a lot of people saw it and love it. It has a big budget, but the big budget's also connected. It's an event film. It really came into fruition with Jaws. That's the first one. And it even gets even further. But what I was asserting earlier was that Magic Mike XXL is a blockbuster. And my reasoning behind that is because it's released 4th of July weekend. It's not a tentpole, but it is a fairly large film, despite its small budget.
Yeah, and the fact that its returns were not that big this weekend.
Well, that's not its fault.
No, I'm just saying I still don't see how this qualifies.
It doesn't help my case, but just in terms of appeal, how much fun it is.
You're just wrong.
It's not dramatic. I think that it qualifies as a blockbuster.
Well, you're just wrong. So it's released 4th of July weekend. So the documentary Amy, which is about Amy Whitehouse, came out on Friday. Released for this weekend. And that's going to be expanded next week. Are you saying that's a blockbuster?
No.
By your logic, released on 4th of July weekend, that qualifies as blockbuster.
Okay.
You just
Let
said
me
it.
amend that. Released 4th of July weekend by a major studio.
All right. Okay. I got the definition.
Because the overnight is not a blockbuster.
Okay. According to Merriam-Webster, the first definition, a very large, high explosive bomb. Well,
like I said.
That's not what Terminator is. Okay. The second
definition, it is. It did
one
bomb
that
at
is
the box
notably
office.
expensive, effective, successful, large, and extravagant.
That's a lot of the things that I said.
Magic Mike, in comparison to other summer releases, is that expensive? Now, I know $15 million,
but it is
that's
extravagant.
A lot, but in Hollywood money, is that expensive?
No, but it's extravagant.
Okay. It's successful. I mean, I wouldn't say large is, it's not as large as...
I'm sorry, Big Dick Ritchie isn't shown in this one.
It's not as large as Overnight.
I'm sorry, but Big Dick
category.
Ritchie's dick in the first Magic Mike was much bigger than Jason Schwartzman's
How
dick.
do you know? Just because they say it was big? We didn't even see it.
Because it's in... Oh, you see it in the first film.
I don't remember. Well,
I mentioned it in the podcast. He has his cock in a cock pump. He's pumping it up, and they're having a conversation, and you can just see it at the bottom of the frame getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, "Holy fuck!"
Oh, that's what that joke was.
Yeah, I'm saying that. That was yeah, his dick was a lot bigger. That's why it's a running gag in this one.
All right. Well, I still think to be a blockbuster, a movie's got to be, let's say, $100 million and up. That's what you'd consider.
In terms of budget or what it makes?
In terms of, I mean, there's so many nowadays that the term blockbuster, I guess it's not really a term anymore. It's just kind of, we get so many of them these days that I guess you just call them summer movies now.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a summer movie or a tentpole.
It's just not as big a term. What's funny is I'm looking this up on Urban Dictionary too, just to see what people consider
Don't cheat.
Blockbuster. Well,
They're
no,
gonna
it's
say
just,
an out of business video store.
you were going to use that.
No, I'm saying that's what they would say on Urban Dictionary. That would get a lot of thumbs up.
Yeah, no, that's what's on there. That's the top one. I didn't think that
Told
would
you.
be there. Yeah,
Of course,
no,
it's Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, I know. I forgot that Blockbuster was a thing. But yeah,
Well, let me ask you this: it's Blockbuster Video. They would have more copies of things for the films that people want to watch. So that definitely articulates my appeal thing. And returns don't really matter, and the budget doesn't matter when you're watching it on home video. I mean, back then, especially Blockbuster times, you're watching it on a screen smaller than 50 inches, most likely.
Blockbuster to me this is a semantics argument that we're not going to resolve. To me, it's something that's supposed to be big, that's supposed to be epic. It doesn't have anything to do with success. It just has to do with the product itself. And Magic Mike, it's not giant, it's not big, it's not epic. It might be explosive, sure, or it's supposed to be. I thought it was pretty dull and just kind of wandered around. And there's but it's not as loud or big or bombastic as Terminator.
Yeah, it's not Terminator. It's not the Avengers. But I still think that it counts as a blockbuster. If for no other reason than it's a sequel, the first one had really good success at the box office, and thus it warranted a sequel, and that it has huge appeal. I think the numbers, I mean, I don't know how they actually but they count this shit. Nielsen, I'm sure, does it. But like 97% of the audience for Magic Mike this weekend was women. It makes sense. That sounds accurate, but how do you even... I mean, when they're ripping the ticket stubs, do they make tallies? I don't get it. Like, I think that's bullshit.
Know. Is it 97%?
That's what I read. THR said it. Variety said it.
I'm in the 3%. I feel special.
Right? I saw it 1.5 times. So
no, I can't believe that because there's a lot of it's not like 97%. Come on, there's gay men out there totally that are watching it. There's more than 3% of dudes watching this movie.
I didn't say it was accurate. I said it was reported.
Yeah. Well, it's a stupid article.
Yeah, but in terms of money, it doesn't make it's hard to argue it. Okay, just
right,
because
look,
it's Jurassic World and it's fucking Inside Out, and they won the last weekend, they won this weekend, they're gonna win the next one.
All right, I guess I will maintain that just to me, I don't really use the term blockbuster. I use the term spectacle instead.
I use it usually too.
That's what I see as a blockbuster is a spectacle.
Yeah.
In a sense, you could say, yeah, that's what Magic Mike is, but I don't feel that way. But hey, if you want to call it that, then by all means, go ahead. I'll stop bothering you about it.
I don't care. Like I said, it's fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to say it's a tent pole. It's definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I think compared to like any other dance movie or any other Channing Tatum film, it's pretty high on the not appeal, but like audience enjoyment like scale.
I mean, yeah, there's a fan base for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we bored our listeners enough.
Yeah. Okay, are we done with this?
Yeah,
just leaving it behind.
We mentioned this during
Let's
Terminator.
get into the actual show now.
Yeah, we mentioned this during the Terminator podcast. How studios fuck up marketing. It goes beyond just in terms of Genesis with the trailer. The one sheets, they show John Connor as a Terminator.
Yeah, no, they want you to know.
They want you to know. Like,
yeah.
Why?
Which that's a sign that a studio doesn't really have faith in the movie. First of all, when you're just going to throw everything out there, but there is another side of this. I heard about this a while ago. I was listening to a podcast with C. Robert Cargill, and he's the writer of Sinister, and he was talking about
how
the marketing. Seen. Yeah, but he was talking about how the marketing works at Blumhouse and. Sinister, it's a movie. I love that trailer. I thought it was a really awesome trailer, and it got me hyped for the movie. And I love the movie a lot, but I do not watch that trailer because it will spoil so much for you. But he was basically talking about the way that trailers work, that marketing works, is that, and this podcast, it was 3 years ago, so I do think a lot's changed since then. But what he said basically was that movie trailers are not made for us. They're not made for the movie geeks. The people that are going to
No,
sit
yeah, it's
down
meant
and watch the trailers and devour them over and over and over again. It's not for them.
it's meant for the average film
It's for the
goer.
casual film goer.
Yeah.
And they're gonna the idea was that they're gonna forget everything that they saw from that trailer, and they're just it's gonna be fresh when they see the movie. But obviously that hasn't worked, because we've seen studies where the average moviegoer, they do think that advertising spoils way too much and they know too much going in. So audiences are not that stupid to forget a trailer completely. Like,
or you feel
I've
cheated.
tuned out. I mean, if I'm not impressed by a trailer, then I'll tune it out and kind of forget about it. And then when the movie turns out to be good, I'll be surprised. But
I remember
you know,
seeing trailers. I remember, I was one of those people, like pre-internet days, where I had to be at the theater like 2 to 3 minutes before the show started, just so I could see everyone, and turning next to whoever I was with, and giving it the rating, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, commenting I want to see that or not. And I also remember, like you said, like I wasn't stupid. I mean, I'm obviously not the average film goer, but I felt cheated if a scene in the trailer wasn't in the film. And there's lots of examples for this. And like, I don't know. I definitely remember it, especially now.
I do kind of feel that way. It's and I'm more understanding about it now, though, because if it's a trailer that I get excited about the movie and it's a scene where I'm looking forward to seeing it, then yeah, I definitely do feel cheated. I'm much more forgiving on it, though, because keep in mind, when we're seeing these trailers, especially for big blockbuster.
It's usually cut.
I'm not
going to
use that word,
finished.
but for big summer movies, yeah, they make them. They're marketing the movie
way
before
before
it's even done.
Yeah.
So they don't even know if it's going to be in there.
Not only that,
I
but
mean, now just knowing that, I can be much more forgiving about that than I once was. But it's also, I don't know, it still bothers me. Like the one that this isn't even a scene that was changed, but in John Wick, there's that big line, that epic line at the end of the trailer where he says,
he's the guy you sent after. Oh, the iMac.
Yeah, no. He's like, yeah, I think I'm back.
Yeah, it works great in the trailer.
It sounded way more badass in the trailer,
Yeah.
and it's clearly a different audio clip, or it sounds more natural in the actual movie, but it's not nearly as badass.
No. Well, I mean,
And
when
that
you're
was
watching
one of
the
the things
movie,
that took me out of the movie. But
as soon as the movie gets
that's a whole
going,
different
he doesn't
conversation.
he doesn't even need to say that. I'm gonna rewatch John Wick, by the way. It's on HBO Go right now.
yeah, I know, I saw that.
I need to see it again. Fuck yeah, I'm so happy there's a sequel coming.
I don't care.
I want a prequel and a sequel, and I'm already in the sequel. So
John Wick has an awesome character, but as an action movie, it's just kind of whatever.
I thought the gung fu stuff was good, and
I thought that was cool, but
I thought it was cool.
That's all the movie does, though.
The movie,
there are no inventive action scenes. It's just Keanu Reeves does gung fu. Okay, he can move fast, but it's
the
really
action
boring
wasn't
to
what
see.
got it for me. Okay, it was
Well,
the
it's
world
what
making.
It's what worked for a lot of people. When it came out, people were praising it as, oh, this is probably the best action movie of the year. And I thought it was fucking boring. It's just him gunning down people and people getting shot. It's like, if for action movies to be good, like they need to. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting older and I'm just more desensitized to just people getting shot. But then again, I loved Kingsman, and there are creative kills in there. And I think, in action movies, if you want to be thrilling, you have to do more than just shoot people. Because shooting people, it's way too easy. There's nothing really tense about it.
I loved John Wick. Okay.
Yeah, I know you did.
And
Everyone
I get that
I'm
what
the
you're
odd one
saying.
out.
Yeah, you're the odd one, and I understand what you're saying. It was mostly just shooting. But
That's all it was.
I
It wasn't
liked
mostly.
that the
That's all it
squibs
was, yeah.
looked real. Like someone would get shot, they'd be on the ground and they would bleed out. Like but like I said, I just said, it wasn't the action that I loved. It was the world making. It was this secret society of hitmen and where they live and the cleaners and the coins that they use and this and that. I loved that shit. I
love the build up for John Wick himself. I love how he's described. It's not really a total cliche way. They don't really say anything about him, and in a way that tells you everything about him.
No. He's very
just
mysterious.
how little they say, yeah.
Well, I gotta ask you, you see like everything Liam Neeson's in. You saw Run All Night, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was basically John Wick without the character, right? Am I correct in assuming that?
It was basically Liam Neeson being Liam Neeson.
But
it's him being the same badass that he was in Taken. It's him being the same badass he was in Nonstop. It's Liam Neeson.
I meant in terms of story. Like I from the trailer I saw, I was like, oh, there's like a hitman, and he fucked up, and then his son's involved, and then Liam Neeson has to kill the son.
There's more. I mean, it's it is simple, but there's more drama there to it. I mean, I'm kind of forgetting the movie already, but I did enjoy Run All Night more because there are really good performances in there, and there's some decent drama.
I know it's Joel Kinnaman.
As an action movie. Yeah, and he was good in it. It's not really a memorable movie, but there was enough for me to say that I enjoyed it, and I still joke about this with a friend. Is that there's a car chase which is really awesome conceptually. It's not really shot well because it's just quick cuts and shaky cam, which is a lazy way to shoot car chases, and I get bored by that. But conceptually, it's awesome because it's not the Liam Neeson that's getting chased by the cops. It's the cops that are chasing Liam Neeson. Or wait, what am I saying?
Did you fuck up on that?
I did fuck up. God damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's not the cops
perfect.
chasing Liam Neeson. It's Liam Neeson chasing the
cops
who are on duty. Yeah, and it's awesome. It's a car chase in the city, and it's just the complete opposite. He's chasing down these police officers, and they're scared of him.
I feel sad thinking about
knowing
this.
that just knowing that the action status that Liam Neeson has, especially after taking in all the memes that you have of it, it's completely badass. And for just that car chase alone, conceptually, I really enjoyed the movie.
I think it's sad that there's kids out there who they're watching these Liam Neeson movies and they have no clue that he was Oscar Schindler. And they're gonna see that film eventually, and they're gonna be like, "Holy shit!" Before he blew people up and cut people in half with lightsabers.
Were you going there, or did you get cut off?
No, that was it. That's as far as I went.
That was it. Before that, he was saving Jews.
Basically, saving Jews and talking about midichlorians.
I mean, it's. No one's gonna really.
I want to know.
No one really includes.
His agent must be one of the. His agent must be one of the best in Hollywood. No one gets a career revitalized like that. It's kind of like Jimmy Stewart, how he went from like the Joe Anybody, like nerdy guy to like the badass old man in the Old West. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 3 periods in his career.
He goes from Harvey to Rear Window.
I mean, I think Harvey and Rear Window came out around the same time.
I know, that's why I made that joke.
Oh, no, I thought you meant like beginning of a career. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington meets How the West Was Won. That's such a departure.
I still need to see that.
Which?
How the West Was Won. No, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. That's a great movie.
Oh, I would say it's my favorite film.
No,
I can't watch it all the time.
That's on your top 10 list.
Yeah, I can't watch it all the time, but it's probably my favorite film.
It's a great movie. Yeah,
I love the Simpsons episode where the Arnold Schwarzenegger ripoff makes it. Like they remake it with him, and the one clip that they have, he like throws the flagpole through like the sender's heart or something, or it's something ridiculous, and it's laugh out loud hilarious. It's so good. Obviously, only if you've seen the film. So new releases. Stuff that's coming out soon. Trailers.
You
saw Steve
Creed.
Jobs, right? Oh, let's do Creed.
Actually, no, I didn't see the I didn't see the trailer for Jobs. I think I'm going to avoid it.
I felt the same way. I didn't want to see it. I've seen it twice now. Fuck, it's good.
The trailer?
Yeah, like I mean, I already knew the premise. I read the synopsis forever ago. It's set before and around the 4 pivotal. Keynote speeches that he gives. So I already knew that, but oh man, it looks so good.
Like, see, I already know that I'm gonna see the movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to see another trailer.
But I'm not, and I just don't really. I'm kind of weird when it comes to trailers. Like,
no, I'm with you.
I saw the Creed trailer, and I'm fine seeing that because it seems like it's exactly
not giving
what
anything
I think it's
away.
Be. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure it'll be good. I hope it's good, but I don't know with Jobs. With Steve Jobs, not Jobs.
Yeah, not Fast and Quick movie.
I forget, which I didn't see, but
good. No one else. A lot of people actually saw that.
Yeah,
I heard the Justin Long version was better.
I know it's not like a big trailer, but I know I'm going to see it anyway, and it just feels like something like I just don't have the urge to see any clips from in there. Like I know that Seth Rogen's in it, and I don't want to know what that looks like until I see the actual movie. I just want to see the movie.
It's going to be attached to something you see soon. I guarantee it, especially if it's a Universal picture.
Well, no. What I do is when I watch trailers, I bring I have an iPhone, and I just have music playing, and I just have my
No,
earbuds on.
that's
I just close
smart.
my eyes and I listen to music. That's not going to bother people. Or if I don't have that, then I go the more obnoxious route, and I just plug my ears and I close my eyes and I rub my ears furiously so
I
I can distort
tried
everything.
doing that because when I saw the D Train, there was an Entourage trailer attached, and I'd seen the TV spots, but like they showed a scene where Sloane was pregnant and being wheeled into the hospital, and I had forgotten because I hadn't got to that point in my rewatch of the series that she was pregnant, or that they got married rather, and I was like, "You motherfucker!" I was so like I literally walked out of the theater and came back because I was alone. I was very pissed.
No.
And I don't
Yeah,
think
though, I
yeah. So I'm with you on that. If it's something I
yeah.
really want to
That's
see, I want to
something
avoid it. It's like spoilers.
I would do that for a while though. Instead of I heard about someone else has a lot of other people have the trick of having your iPhone and putting earbuds on. I figured that's much more practical because
Yeah, it's very practical.
every time I would go see a movie with a friend, like my friend doesn't have the same view of trailers, but he likes to see them in the theater for the first time. So if it's something he's really looking forward to, then he's not going to watch it online when it's posted.
I'm the
So
opposite
he
if
was,
it's big enough.
Yeah, he was looking. He was really excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was really looking forward to that trailer. And when we went to the midnight for Captain America, I was avoiding that trailer. So I just I shut my eyes and I rubbed my ears furiously because that was something I also really wanted to see, but I rubbed them even more aggressively than normal.
Is your ears
And
bleed?
I fucking ruined the trailer experience for him because I was rocking
He was
seats back and forth as I was doing that.
He was watching
And yeah,
you.
he just like he didn't disrupt me or anything because I was looking forward to see his reaction because I knew that he would get enjoyment out of it. And then when I opened my eyes, he just gives me this look.
He was just hooked
Like
on
he's
that
pissed,
feeling.
and he's like, "Dude, you were just rocking the chair back and forth the whole fucking time." And yeah, yeah. So I felt bad for ruining that for him. But yeah.
I have no shame in admitting that I saw the Batman versus Superman trailer online when it leaked. I watched the shitty fucking quality thing like 3 times. No shame. I mean, and then I saw it in the theater. Like I've seen it like 3 times since. But yeah, I had to. Just as a Batman fanboy.
Even just for trailers, I should be avoiding Star Wars, but I can't do it.
You can't, yeah.
I tried,
anyway.
and then it's just, yeah, I tried. Like I was thinking, when I right before work they were showing the panel at Star Wars Celebration. I was like, okay, if they drop news, I'll watch the panel. It'll be cool. I didn't think they were gonna show the trailer, because I figured they'd show it in front of that audience, but not do it on the live stream. And it came up, and I just couldn't avoid it. I just couldn't do it. That trailer was too amazing.
There's this shit going on. It's halfway through the year. Everyone's making their best of the year so far list, which I think are just moronic because the first half of the year is shit compared to the second half. But anyway, there's these reports where they're like, "Oh, Disney's got to 3 billion faster than they ever have before," and I'm just wondering, like, why is this a headline? They don't have their big movie in theaters yet. Their real big movie.
No, but they're making a lot of money. Though.
Of course they are. But I'm just saying, like,
Avengers is making a lot. Inside Out's doing great. Cinderella was, it was a pretty big surprise hit. I mean, I'm sure they were expecting it to do well, but the level of how much it's made, but
I mean,
that's pretty surprising.
They still have The Good Dinosaur and Star Wars. Plus, probably a couple other things along the way. So I think these reports are just moronic. Like, they're gonna break the records this year, and 2 years from now, when the next Star Wars, or is it 3? It's 2 years. It's 3. I think they're following
For Star Wars.
Yeah, the other trilogy's orders, where it's every 3 years.
No. It's summer 2017. They're gonna get back to the May release date, starting with Episode 8. And
okay.
I think
so they're doing
Rogue
2
One
then?
is coming out December. Yeah, the goal is
because they're going to stagger them one every year. Yeah.
Yeah, but for
one
the
main,
stuff that's
one
canon, I think
yeah.
it's every 2 years. That's
okay.
the plan.
Well, what I'm saying is, of course, Disney's going to break their records this year, and 2 years from now, they're going to break these records. Because you know why? There's going to be Infinity War Part 1. There's going to be Star Wars Episode 8. Like, why is this even news?
Well, I think just compared to the domestic box office of last year,
last year
Hollywood
sucked.
Hollywood is doing insanely well this year. So what's being
Universal.
reported, it's kind of like the second coming right now.
Universal has
an amazing fucking
top
year.
5 grossers of all time. Universal has 2 on that list now, and they're both from this year: Furious 7 and Jurassic World. The other three are in order. Number one is Avatar. Number two is Titanic. Number three is The Avengers. That's
Yeah, I mean
amazing.
it's I mean they're having an amazing year, but also I mean just I want to go back to something you said. The idea of putting out like a top 10 list for stuff that's come out in
It's
the
so
year so far.
fucking stupid.
I don't think that's that moronic. I mean, last year there was a lot more stuff that I loved from last year that came out in the first half of the year, and I could have made one of those lists.
I can make one of
Now
those lists right
I could
now,
probably
but
do like me. I could probably do like a top 5 or a top 4. Because there's 4 movies from this year that I thought were absolutely fucking great.
Yeah,
But
Mad Max
2 of
and
them I
the
don't
other
think are going to
three.
end up in a top 10 at the end of the year.
It's like Mad Max is on everyone's list. It's not your one right
Oh,
now.
Mad
then
Max, yeah, Mad Max is number 1 for me.
It's everyone's
dope.
number one. Yeah, dope.
And then
dope
I
to be on.
got Kingsman on there, and actually I think I got Paddington.
Yeah, I
and
heard
then
really
got
good
Kingsman.
things.
It's a lot of fun. If you're expecting it to be just another kids movie, it really is a kids movie, but it's a
I
very
heard the
clever
CGI
one.
is great on the bear.
Oh yeah, no, the bear looks fucking great. Absolutely.
Yeah, oh man, I'm drawing a blank right now. David Bowie's son, the
What?
director of Moon
Duncan
and
Jones?
Source Code. Duncan Jones.
Duncan
Yeah,
Jones.
he had very
Yeah.
good things to say about it on Twitter. I was like, yeah, I'll watch this.
Oh, about yeah. No, it's really good, dude.
Yeah, I'm
For real,
definitely gonna
it's really
see
funny. I think it's still the funniest movie of this year to me.
it. Wow. Well, you
Yeah,
didn't see
maybe-
Spy, so
I haven't. No, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna try to see it this week.
yeah, it's probably gonna get kicked out soon. I was surprised to see that Entourage isn't in theaters anymore. Like, how is Mad Max still in theaters, but Entourage isn't? Or at least in
Because
my
Entourage
theater.
is not doing that well.
Well, it is an adaptation of a TV show.
Yeah,
So-
and that fan base is gonna see it right away.
Yep.
Yep, they already saw it, so I mean, it's not like Entourage has got legs. Whereas,
I mean-
Mad Max is great word of mouth behind it.
Definitely. Think
Yeah.
about this. Like, I know you watched Community. This was it 7 seasons in the movie, right? That's
6 seasons in a movie.
There you go.
Yep.
That movie's gonna do worse than Entourage because
Because
Entourage never got canceled and picked up by a network, internet search provider. So
Well, but I don't think. I think Entourage has a much bigger budget that I don't think a Community movie needs if it does get made. And the assumption right now is that it will get made, but nothing's official yet.
It's
they don't
probably
really
gonna be
have
on
plans
Yahoo.
for it.
or it's gonna be a Netflix direct movie.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Right.
It's a show owned by Sony, so it could very well be a Sony flick.
Yeah, it could be on Crackle.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll see actually how that works with Joe Dirt.
Here's a question I got for you: is Donald Glover in the most recent season of Community?
No, I'm considering whether or not this is a spoiler. No, he's not. He didn't make a cameo appearance.
Huh.
I was hoping that he would, but no, he didn't.
That sucks.
But we'll see. I mean,
I'm
we'll
sure
see if
he'll
he's
be
a
in the
Community
movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's no reason for him not to be.
Because he loves his fans, or I guess Magic Mike fans a little bit more. And I doubt he.
Well,
did.
yeah, he's been wanting to do his own thing. I mean, you can't
he has
not
a-
have him at least show up in a movie, because
He
that's
has
gonna be
his,
that's gonna be a very big moment when he shows up.
He has his. I don't know if it's a sitcom, but he has his show about the rap industry in development right now. This announced like 2 leads for it. I know very little about it, but that's basically the reason why he left Community, because he wanted to work on the show.
Now, do you listen to Childish Gambino?
Yeah, it was actually really weird. I found it on
I believe he's
accident.
good. Just I haven't heard any.
No,
of his
yeah, it's good.
stuff,
If you liked his song in Magic Mike, it's pretty similar stuff. But yeah, it was very random. I didn't know who he was, didn't watch Community, don't watch Community, and I was just like on the internet on some blog. I think I was looking for an album, like looking for a download link or something, and I found like a playlist of this, like his cul-de-sac album. I was like, wow, this is really good. Who is this? And then ever since then, just really like his stuff. Everything
I need
besides
to check out.
besides Camp, that album was not good.
I need to hear some of his stuff, but also I don't know. I don't know if you've seen some of his stuff on Derek Comedy on YouTube.
No,
There's a lot of very funny sketches there.
I know
that are
what
worth
it
checking
is,
out.
but yeah, I haven't seen it.
You might know the bro rape one because that's the one that went viral that everyone knows about.
No, I tried to see that
No?
detective movie. What the hell was it called? The Kids-
Mystery Team?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
No,
No,
it's,
it reminded me of Hot Rod a little too much. Like same kind of comedy.
Yeah, it's that type of comedy, but to me that's a good thing. I mean, it is that type of movie. Totally, it has that type of. It's. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. In a
This
bunch
is
of
my
different ways. Yeah, it's
thing,
that
okay?
Type of movie.
I like Biodome and Freddy Got Fingered and those kind of films that are bad. But the thing about those kind of movies is like they're not respected the critics hated him, but it's still funny. And when I see something like Hot Rod or to an extent Napoleon Dynamite, like that, like mumble drag is what I'm gonna call it. Like the jokes don't really hit; they just kind of hit the floor, and you're supposed to laugh at that. Yeah, it usually doesn't do anything for me, and that's kind of
I
like
guess those are more like chuckle fests for me. Like
yeah.
some like Napoleon Dynamite, I don't enjoy it nearly as much now as I did back then.
Oh, I loved it.
I mean,
in high
it's more
school.
like something like Mystery Team or Hot Rod. I would have loved that when I was in 7th grade. I would have loved that. Now my standards for comedy, it's more like Judd Apatow, like because stuff like Superbad or Pineapple Express, some stuff that there's jokes in there,
but it's
there's
mature.
also there are good characters and there are arcs and there's just really good stories in there that stick with you.
I mean, yeah, that's how comedy's
not
supposed
only
to
that,
be.
but yeah,
It's not fucking Jerry Lewis. They love Jerry Lewis in France, so. What do you know about this Monopoly movie?
Okay.
Have you? It's been in development for like over a
they're
decade.
moving forward with it. The idea of a Monopoly movie, I first heard about this. I think this is way back in 2009, and I heard that Ridley Scott
Ridley Scott was going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's not the case now, but now that's the only reason I just remember. I keep thinking of that every time that they say that they're going to do something with it. Is Ridley Scott was attached to make this. I don't know what the hell this could be.
I read some kind of plot description, and it kind of made sense. It was like a kid grows up on Baltic Avenue, which you don't know Monopoly. I know you don't. It's like the first...
I do.
I thought
do know
I thought you
Monopoly,
said
yeah.
you weren't familiar. Oh, you weren't familiar with who released it or publishes it, or whatever.
No, the
So yeah, it's like the first
it
space.
was different in Europe.
Yeah, it's like the first space on the board. The cheapskates, 50 cents rent, or I think it's 40 actually, $40 rent. Not rent, but to purchase the property. And so he lives on Baltic Avenue, and he's like masquerading around, going through chance and the help of his community chest to get to Park Place or some shit like that. Sounds horrible. I think
Who the fuck wants to see that?
Someone's going to.
Why would you make that movie?
Hey, I watched Battleship, so.
And that was a terrible movie, and it tanked.
I heard Ouija wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but Ouija was made for no money, and I heard it was that bad.
I don't know. I don't watch those movies.
I mean, Ouija costs nothing.
Yeah, I think it costs like $14 million plus marketing.
I'm just saying, what are you gonna do with Monopoly? I mean,
blame Universal for fucking like Hasbro and putting them on their backlot. Now they think they're a player, and Ted 2 and Transformers, and the films that we just mentioned. It doesn't really help that case. Like they are in there now. It's pretty sad. Like, before you know it, we're going to have Yahtzee, the movie.
And what is the story going to be with that?
For Yahtzee?
Yeah.
It's going to... I don't know.
I mean, what the fuck? I've never played Yahtzee. What the fuck
Yahtzee's
is it?
the game...
I only know the name.
You take, like, 6 die, okay? And you take these dice, and you put them in, like, a fucking cup, okay? And you shake them, you put them down, and then, if I remember correctly, everyone has them. It's kind of like... You were playing Red Dead Redemption, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know that Liar's dice game in there?
I don't think I got that far.
You didn't get that far? Oh,
No.
It's pretty similar. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's one of those stupid games.
I played it for like a couple hours, and I enjoyed it, but I haven't kept going with it.
Yeah. Well, you were renting it. It's
Yeah.
one of the, it's very Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto-esque. You can't just run through it. You have to play it at your leisure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see what's the. It's like real life satire at this point. Like, we're getting very excessive with whoring out franchises. Now we're going to board games.
It's not that
There's literally
asinine,
no story.
though.
Like what?
I mean, think about look at
what-
the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, there was no
I know,
story in those games, and they made the movie, and that's kind of
Okay,
why
but
video game
was it
adaptations.
good?
No.
Was it good?
It's
Did
like
it do well?
it made like
Did it deliver on the promise at the end of that movie where they were going to make a sequel? No.
that movie's so bad. The best part about that movie is John Leguizamo.
I mean, the only good thing I can see about this, or the only way I could see this working out, because this excuse was used for. I mean, there's this movie that you might have heard of. It's called Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
It's yeah. It's based on a theme park ride.
Yeah,
Everyone was expecting it to be terrible.
we're treading similar water here. We did this during
and then the movie
Tomorrowland.
so I'm just saying a good movie
It's possible.
could be made based on a board game? It's possible because all you need I mean, there's a bunch of ingredients that you
You
need
just
in
need
there.
a good angle, and you already have the market.
Yeah, you need to have fun. You need to have a good plot, a good story. You need to have good characters.
You have a built-in audience,
and that's not that hard to create. You could create that around the board game, but what does Monopoly do to give you that? I mean, maybe I was thinking Ridley Scott. Maybe he can do a serious Wall Street drama or something like that.
Maybe
with
the stock
with
market
the title in
crash.
there. And it's very loosely based on the game.
Well, I mean, think about it. If they called it the Wolf of Monopoly and they like spun it to involve the board game somehow, it would have been fine. That could have worked.
So what's going to happen in the Monopoly movie? Someone's going to get a chance card and they're going to
No, I think
jail.
it's like
I don't,
the literal concept of chance is in their favor. Like, hopefully at one point they win a beauty contest and get $25. Oh wait, I remember this part where it said trying to escape from jail and beat the odds or something stupid. So asinine, just like right on the on the nose. Just can't be good. But I'm probably gonna see it anyway because I like stupid movies.
Well, we'll see. We don't know anything about it. We just know that they're moving forward with it.
Kind of like Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We know very little about it.
Yeah. So let me, I guess, let's get into our segment of what we've been watching. Because I think you've been ingesting a lot of stuff lately.
Not really. Been busy trying to get
No?
our podcast off the ground again.
Yeah, same. I haven't really had time to. I've rewatched some stuff at home. But although I did, I didn't post I didn't post this on Letterboxd because I couldn't at all. I couldn't. They don't have it available. But I saw Bateman Begins, An American Psycho, which I don't know if you heard about this. It's a fan edit, and I'm not very big on fan edit
Is it
culture.
Batman
Basically,
Begins scenes
mixed with American Psycho
that could work.
and The Machinist.
Oh, the Machinist, you're throwing me off because he doesn't even look the same in that movie.
No. It narratively it works the way it's organized, but it's still obviously a fan edit. It doesn't make any sense.
Are you a
And all it is
professional?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they use that too. No, they utilize the Terminator clips in there too. And it's, I mean, I'm not big on fan edit culture, but I've had this sitting on my laptop for a while because I heard about it and I was thinking, I have to see that. I have to see how that works, even if it's bad. And for the most part, it works if you're interested in seeing the idea. But what it is, it's just a lot of long segments taken from each movie and they're stitched together. And so, like, if you know the movies pretty well, then
two of them.
You're
I
going to feel like
Machinist
you're watching
once.
Batman Begins again, and then you get taken out of it when they cut to American Psycho. It's like, oh, right, I'm watching this.
Yeah,
so,
I couldn't do that.
It's a fan edit. You can't put that many expectations on it. But I thought it was the way that they just kind of messed around with it. It was pretty funny.
I'm a fan of Bret Easton Ellis, the author of American Psycho. I've actually read the novel and most of his other books, for that matter, and like the vast majority of Batman comics. So just based on those two things and how much I like those two movies, I just don't think I could do it. I think I'd be disgusted almost.
Oh no, it's really funny how it works, but it's not something that you're going to take seriously. But if you come across a copy and you're interested in that sort of thing, I recommend it.
Some of that fan stuff is fun.
It's basically. It's basically Batman Begins, but instead of him becoming Batman, he becomes Patrick.
This is totally
Bateman.
related. It's pretty good shot in Batman Begins. It's like foreshadowing where he does those push-ups, but he doesn't like get on the ground and do them. He's standing up and he drops into the push-up. I do those. I started doing them like a month ago or a little bit more. I was like, yeah, I want to try it. So I can do it. It's super stupid. I think it looks cool, though.
I'm wondering why you're telling me this.
It's related. I was just thinking about it.
All right. Yeah, it's... all right.
I was also going through my head.
Yeah, though, that's all I've been watching. Aside from the stuff that I've been rewatching at Letterboxd, but, if you want to... I don't think I've written anything on that. I rewatched Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mad Max again. That's about it.
It's the fourth time? Third time?
Third time.
Yeah. I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight a lot. I got it. Monday,
Here's the
I believe.
hyperbole I've been hearing is that it's probably one of the best video games ever.
Yeah, I don't know who said that.
Oh,
I'm
several
not.
people.
I'm not very far in it. And I mean that's the same thing that people say about all the Arkham games, excluding Arkham Origins.
I
So
know
I,
that's why I'm asking because I want to know. Okay,
yeah,
do you think it's just them being hyperbolic, or
like I
is
said,
there some truth to that?
I'm not far into it. I'd say my total gameplay time is around like 5 to 6 hours. I haven't even completed the first main story mission, so yeah, I can't judge it. I will say that a lot of the reviews are pretty accurate. They do force the Batmobile on you pretty heavily for certain things. So much so that when you're traversing Arkham City, you do it in the beginning with the Batmobile before you do it through Batman, really. Which is kind of weird, but you know, it's a video game. You have to set up, you know, you have to have a tutorial or whatnot. Uh,
It's a quick way of letting you get the scope of that entire
yeah,
world,
exactly.
the entire map, which
It's
is good. Yeah.
gigantic compared to Arkham City. About it seems just a little bit bigger than Arkham Origins, but the difference here is that it feels lived in. Like you actually have cars driving down the streets and people walking and just like mobs. In the past games, it's like, oh, we have a crime in progress, and you'd fly over there and you know kick some ass. This is on any street corner anywhere. There's people and you can beat them up just because you want to. You know, it's like the vengeance is yours. But without going into spoilers, there's some really interesting stuff that's been happening. I played it on Twitch. I Twitch stream. I don't know if you know what that is. It's basically live streaming for video gameplay. So I do it occasionally. And if you're interested out there, my username is cstrife991, like as in Cloud Strife with just a C. But yeah, I was playing it, and there was like some references to the Killing Joke and some other stuff, and it was really good. But I really don't like is that there's been two jump scares in the game, and the first one kind of got me, and the second one that happened last night really got me. I was like, "Fuck you!" Like I got mad. That's more about me being a pussy and not liking horror.
Is that why you don't like horror films? You just get scared too easy.
It's not even that. Like, okay, so as a kid, I hated scary things. I up until I was about like 14, I just avoided the horror genre. But like a weird, like you know, just life irony. I've been a monster at two Halloween like attractions. Like I did it at Universal Studios. I did it at the Queen Mary in Long Beach. So I am one of those sick fucks that like scaring people. It is a very fun job. I just
But you just don't like being scared.
well, it's hard to scare me. Like when I do those kind of attractions, when I walk through the mazes, like you got to be really good at your job. And I think that's because I've done it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I said this to someone else. I could have said this to you. I think I mentioned it during Magic Mike. When I'm viewing or ingesting media, I like to get a laugh out of it or think a certain way. I rarely want to be scared or like freaked out. Like that's not something that I look forward to. Um, I think most people are the same way. I understand the appeal when you're on a date and you want an excuse to hold your girl or your girl wants to be held or whatever. There's like that whole protection mentality.
Yeah.
But alone, especially alone in a theater, it's not a fun experience. I don't. It's not for me.
For me, I mean, with any movie, I guess in a horror movie, there is a certain expectation of, okay, you
It's
just
gonna scare
expect to
me.
be scared.
Yeah.
I don't expect any specific emotions, though, from any movie. Like, if it's a horror movie, I may not be scared, but I hope that, it's at least effective in the movie that's trying to be. If you need a horrific or eerie atmosphere, and then I hope that works for me. But, I mean, I don't really get scared so much for horror movies. If they're effective, then they make an impression on me, and I just kind of get freaked out on them, and they stay as an afterthought. Like there was never a moment, and It Follows, where
Hey,
I was
still haven't
like
seen
really
it.
scared or terrified, but I was definitely unnerved as I was watching it because it's really a very moody and atmospheric movie, and it's
Yeah, it's
really
on
awesome
Netflix
at that.
later this month, so I'm
But
gonna watch it soon.
yeah, but I mean, even if it's a shitty horror movie, Like, I'm trying to think. What was the last time I
Hostel
last one I
2.
saw? Okay, what was it? Devil's Due. I didn't think it was
I don't even know what
I
that
didn't think it
is.
was terrible. It was a found footage Rosemary's Baby movie that
Gotcha.
came out last year that everyone forgot about. But it's an okay movie, but its scares are very obvious. Just jump scares that you know when they're coming. And I can't stand that. Like when I'm seeing a movie, and I don't think it's scary at all. I think it's stupid. But I know the jump scare is coming, and me personally, I know I'm going to be affected by it anyway because loud noises, like when it's just dead silence, and then something
It's
just kind
very
of jumps at
manipulative.
me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's scary.
Like
It's
that's
startling.
just that's a natural bodily reaction. It's
Yeah.
like okay, you throw something in my face, I'm gonna react.
Yeah.
And if so I guess the key thing for me with horror movies is I still have to be narratively invested.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Like it follows, I'm invested in the characters, I'm invested in what's happening, and I genuinely care about what's about to
I
happen
should
to them.
create a list for it, but last Halloween, or not last Halloween, last October, while I was working at the Queen Mare, I watched like basically a horror movie a day, sometimes two, and all of them were things I had never seen. So it was like Rosemary's Baby. I can't think of anything else right now because that was a while. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I don't know, but then I like threw in some interesting stuff like Bad Milo. Like I was just it was Suspiria.
You
It
were
was
watching like really obscure stuff.
yeah, mostly obscure stuff, not a lot of mainstream things, but
Yeah.
a lot of cult classics that I
think
hadn't seen.
This was last year.
Yeah, this was
right?
last
Like,
year.
I saw your postings
Yeah.
on Letterboxd.
So I'll
and
have
there was a
to-
bunch of stuff I didn't see.
Yeah, I'll have to make a list of all the things I did on there. And I'm going to do something similar this year. And it's kind of like my way of actually watching them because horror is just one of those genres that I'm not well versed in. I've told you this before, I haven't seen much classical Hollywood horror, even like the Universal pictures, like the Dracula, Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah, I have that box set. It's nice.
I just haven't. I haven't seen Creature from Black Lagoon. It's stuff that I just never saw.
Yeah.
And that was,
I mean, those are old school movies and
Yeah.
they're fun. It's not like they're going to scare you.
Yeah, I wanna see
they're
them, I
not
just
gonna
haven't.
scare a modern audience. And I mean, The Invisible Man. I think that movie's awesome. I don't see how
It's
that's
Claude
scary at all. I
Rains,
think
right?
it's fucking hilarious. Yeah,
yeah.
Claude Rains is awesome, dude. That movie's so much
Yeah,
fun.
so we're already coming back to Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah, no, Claude Rains is just awesome in everything he's in, dude. I mean,
Yeah, Casablanca.
he's great. Yeah, and Adventures of Robin Hood. Dude's
Good
got
actor.
a great body.
Underrated.
Of work, man.
Underrated.
Yeah.
The other thing, the only other thing I can really say is I watched True Detective season 2 premiere last night.
Oh, how was that?
It's a lot different, it seems, than the first season. I mean, it's supposed to be, it's a whole new thing. But for instance, now it's about 3 cops and like one mob boss, basically. I don't know Vince Vaughn's character, but he's definitely on the other side of the law. So just the fact that there's 4 narratives going on instead of 2.
Yeah, I
that
saw the
changes things
trailer
up.
and I got a Psycho, Gus Van Sant Psycho vibe when I saw him in there.
Is that just because of Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was getting that vibe that is he the serial killer in this one?
No,
yeah.
I don't know. The first, nothing's been set up yet.
Just characters.
Yeah, just characters, who they are. Fucking, oh man, what's it? Colin Farrell. He's going for it here. Like in that first episode, it's pretty moody, pretty good stuff. I liked it.
Oh, no one's at the heights of Matthew McConaughey.
Well, no.
Yeah, I mean that's the only
it's the
reason
reconnaissance.
that's the only reason I find to watch like the first. I guess now it's the first season, but and I wasn't that big on True Detective. I thought
I
it was
loved
okay.
it. I mean, we've got.
Like I thought Matthew McConaughey's character was great, but I spent an entire day watching
See,
that, and
you binged it.
I felt at the end like there's good characters in there, but in the end the mystery didn't matter, and I'm kind of just forgetting it already.
The
except that just
acting.
Matthew McConaughey had a great role.
I like the acting. I thought the T-Bone Burnett stuff, the music was great. I like the director. I liked a lot of the stuff. Alessandra Dario's tits; those were great. I just really liked it. I liked the pacing, the dual narratives, the time jumps, how it all came together.
It's a good show, I guess.
It was good. I
for
think
me,
you
there
were
is-
cheated. Because you watched it, you binged it all at once. I think you lost out on a lot of its appeal.
Well, see,
because
I can't. It's very difficult for me, like especially
yeah, because
with
I know
dramas.
you don't.
I can't do.
You don't
the
like
weekly
serials.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got problem. I sort of have problems with serialized storytelling, and I mean that's just me. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just that way. I have to binge on most TV shows, like especially if it's a drama. A sitcom I can do week to week because those are characters that you just enjoy hanging out with and seeing what the situations they get themselves into. There's not really a big narrative that you have to follow. Whereas, yeah,
Yeah,
for
see, I'm the
dramas week
opposite.
to week, that's, I mean, it's kind of like reading a book for me. Like I do enjoy reading, but I don't do it often because when I'm reading one chapter, I immediately want to jump to the next, and if I put it down, then chances are I'm probably going to leave it sitting there for a while. And that's how I am with TV.
Yeah,
Like I can't, I still need to get to Dexter. I've watched the pilot so many times, but I haven't kept going.
I watched the majority of the first season. I didn't like it, which is real counter to my interest because I'm really interested in criminology and serial killers. But yeah, it just didn't work for me. Maybe it was Michael C. Hall. I don't know. Just for something again, just something about it. Maybe it was because everyone was sucking its dick, but I couldn't do it. I totally didn't mention this because I was thinking more visual medium. I've been listening to Vince Staples' Summertime '06 album, fuck ton. I think I've probably heard it like 4 times. It's a double album. I know you don't.
What is that?
Yeah, I was gonna say I know you don't know who that
Yeah.
is. He's a rapper from Long Beach. I mentioned him. The reason his
Oh
name
yeah.
might sound familiar is because he's one of the bit players in Dope. So I hope his album pushes that movie a little more. Like it is on Def Jam. It got a really good review from Pitchfork. A couple other things. Like it's primed to be. I mean, it's still early in the year, but it's gonna be potentially be one of the best albums of the year. But like Frank Ocean's album's probably gonna come out, and who knows, Kanye's album's gonna come out. But right now, like it's up there with Kendrick Lamar's Pimp Butterfly. Like really, really solid rap album.
All right. Well, we're coming up on an hour now. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just a little tidbit. We're both Kevin Smith fans. I'm pretty sure you follow him on Twitter. Did you see this thing he tweeted out earlier today?
Let me guess. Because is it the Jay and Silent Bob thing you're talking about?
Did I mention this?
No. I saw that today.
Yeah, you saw
I
that?
talked about it with a friend. Yeah.
I hope he does
I took
it.
a screenshot of the tweet. And
Yeah, I
sent
hope
it
he
to
does
him
it.
because I had to get his opinion on it. Yeah,
I want it really badly.
I really want to see it, but all right, this is what right away he said no, he doesn't want to see that unless it's a cameo. But
I want it to be deep, or at the.
I was thinking I would love to see Jay get killed off by a moose,
That'd be good.
Jaws style, just
Or
have it set up like
or do like a
yeah.
do a cameo.
I would love to see a horror movie kill with
Salsa Shark. I would like Scream 3 type of cameo. That'd be really cool, where they show up as themselves, just like on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Red State is still standing by itself, but it makes sense when he's making another universe. Because I'm pretty sure at this point
we're in the world of crossovers, man.
Yeah,
So.
I'm pretty sure at this point that Hit Somebody is gonna take place in the True North world, and so. If he puts Jay and Silent Bob, he like joins the True North trilogy with the Viewisk universe, then Hit Somebody could fall on that too. And it doesn't have to be deep, but I think, look, the only people that really like his movies are his fans. And this would be the ultimate fan service, especially when he's already making Clerks 3 and Mallrats 2, and I'm pretty sure Chasing Amy 2 is going to come out eventually.
No,
you don't think so?
No, come on, no, oh my! Why would that? No,
because Ben Affleck's
that'll
single.
never happen.
Well, he's gonna be single.
No, that can't happen.
Why can't it happen? Nothing's sacred.
Well, first off, it's not at all about Ben Affleck.
I would love a Dogma too.
It's more of an autobiographical movie for Scott Mosier and Kevin Smith.
Like I said, I would love a second Dogma.
I wouldn't want a second Chasing Amy.
No, I wouldn't. But I don't
Yeah,
doubt it could happen. Or like maybe AMC turns it into a TV show. That's probably more likely.
Well, Mallrats 2, or Mallbrats as it's called. I mean, that's, I don't know if it's you and me that talked about this, but I could see that being as like, a fun comedy sequel. So, but I'm not expecting big things from it. It's just gonna be, it'll be a fun. It'll be like Anchorman 2. Like, hopefully there's good jokes in there, and I'll be
Anchorman
distracted.
2 is great.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be that memorable. Clerks 3, I expect that series
a masterpiece.
to be, not a masterpiece, but I expect it to be something kind of like what Linklater's Before series is right now, Even if,
Yeah.
in fact, if it comes out at 2018, then that's going to be perfect. Every 12 years, we see what
No,
Dante and Randall are up to. But I don't need perfect chronology like that. It's just, okay, it's cool. This is what they're at like in their 20s and then their 30s and then their 40s. And, that it'll be interesting because that's what Clerks 2 is. It's Smith having something to say about being in his 30s.
Well, look, this is the potential of this crossover. Let's say, and I think this could be a great thing. This is probably what he's thinking. If you put Jay and Silent Bob in Moose Jaws, then that means that Harley Quinn could be in Clerks 3, which is probably something he's thinking right now. Because why not?
We'll see what happens with Yoga Hosers. Because who knows? We only saw her briefly, and what's her name, Johnny Depp's daughter.
Yeah, they're funny. I mean, it was very brief, but I
it was
thought
very brief.
Yes,
I mean, who knows if it's going to feel way too self-indulgent, or if they can actually act.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. He's kind of whoring his daughter out. He posts so many pictures of her on his Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah.
Even though she's like 16. So I'm pretty sure he's really invested in trying to give her a career, which makes sense. That's kind of what he does. He helps out his friends and family.
Hey, Smith's an attention whore, and I'm not saying that in an insulting way. He says it himself too. So I mean, hey, that's just who the guy is. So I'm not really. I kind of filter him out on Twitter. Sort of. I just kind of skip over his tweets because he tweets a lot.
Not nearly as much as he used to. He used to be fucking all over the place.
Yeah, no, he's getting better at it. But I mean, I don't even listen to his Smodcast radio that much.
No, I listen.
I don't know. Smith's gotten a little bit more obnoxious to me, but I mean, the dude, he's still an interesting guy to listen to, though, in many respects.
I listen to Fat Man and Batman every once in a while.
If this is just him being way too indulgent to the point where I'm not interested, I don't know. We'll see what it is.
Oh no, I consider myself a big fan of his, but I don't watch Comic Book Man. I'm not there, but I think that's more about me not watching reality TV, because I've seen an episode or two and it wasn't bad. Like, it's kind of funny to see what's his name. I'm gonna cheat right now. Oh, it's not
Walt Flanagan.
Yeah, Walt Flanagan.
Brian. Something.
You tell him, Steve Dave. I was gonna try to cheat.
Yeah, Walt Flanagan.
Yeah, I was trying to cheat and look at my Batman Cacophony binding, but it doesn't have Walt Flanagan's name on it. It just says Kevin Smith. So one last thing. Bring this full circle back to our first 2 cents, which was a while ago.
Yeah.
So Sony and Marvel announced their choices. Who cares about the Spider-Brat? No one cares. What I'm interested in is 2 things. One, they're trying to continue let's make these not just superhero films, but a full-fledged genre. I think the John Hughes angle is perfect, especially for Spider-Man. I think I think they can do it really well.
I mean, didn't we already just get that?
No.
Like, I'd argue that Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, that there is a John Hughes vibe to me in that relationship. Maybe it's not a comedy, but there is that charm there.
They had the chemistry, they had that charm. Yeah, so but
I feel like I got that. I mean, you can't deny that influence is there.
I would argue that the 2 Amazing films are more about Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man and not about the romance.
Yeah.
I think what they mean by the John Hughes thing is that it's going to be more of a romance than a superhero film. It does make sense if you're trying to make them younger, and even though
it's probably going to be about Peter Parker being left home alone and having fun and throwing parties and stuff.
Was that a very niche, Home Alone reference?
That's a very bad, very condescending Home Alone reference.
I mean, he's going to get Gwen Stacy a birthday cake and sit on a table and eat with her, like.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that I don't really know exactly what they mean by John Hughes movie, because what John Hughes movie are you talking about specifically? Are you talking about
they mean his
Club
they don't mean Ferris
Bueller?
Bueller. They don't mean Ferris Bueller.
I mean,
I
think what I'm saying is I do feel that influence is there in Mark Webb's films. So what do they mean when they say?
I'm pretty sure they mean Pretty in Pink, like maybe Breakfast Club, but more like I would hope Weird Science, because that makes sense because he is a geek. But yeah, anyway, what I meant by bring it full circle,
I mean,
director
that kind of
choice.
worries me if that's what they mean for Weird Science. I like
I
Weird
would
Science,
I would
but
love
I
Weird
can't
Science.
imagine a Spider-Man film being like that.
Did you know that Weird Science is a comic book adaptation?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, yeah. It was a series of comic books in England. They also did the Tales from the Crypt. Not the what became Tales from the Crypt, but like the original one. So yeah, both of those, Tales from the Crypt and Weird Science, were both kind of like 2000 AD, which Judge Dredd is based in. Like not Chronicle, oh, what's the word?
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Like, what's the format for American Horror Story? It's a TV show, but it's not
Anthology.
anthology. Yeah, it's anthology comic book series. But anyway, what I meant to say
Just
earlier
a bunch
was
of different stories set in the same world.
yeah, but they're connecting this to the first episode. Their choice in director, like your horrors have been echoed. They did choose someone straight from Sundance who directed the cop car film with Kevin Bacon, which is coming soon.
Well, I mean, it's everyone's looking for new talent. I mean, a part of the reason for that is when you look for people from Sundance, they're going to be a lot cheaper, you know. Like it's not and the way that Marvel works, like it seems more like TV to me, like in that, you know, it's not really the filmmaker's vision being realized. Like Alan Taylor, he came out about this recently that his experience on Thor 2 was not a great one because he got total creative freedom while he was making the movie, but in post Marvel was, you know, tuning it to fit their own agenda, and that's basically what the Marvel
sense.
Cinematic Universe is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I mean, not that that's a bad thing, you know. They got all these movies have to fit together. I think it's Kevin Feige that has Final Cut, or I'm assuming so because he seems like
most
he's
likely
the main showrunner for the movies. But I mean, yeah, that's for Marvel. That's kind of how it's working out. You know, you look for fresh talent and you bring them on to work on their thing. And I don't know, maybe that's why they're doing it so that, you know, they can make their own big budget movies and have more clout. But I don't know. Well,
I just think
we'll
it's
see.
funny.
I do worry that it's a waste of talent if people are just being brought onto franchises in general. Like, I mean, Gareth Edwards, he's already got his next 2 movies lined up, and those are franchises. You know, he's going back. He's not doing anything original. Rian Johnson, I'm pretty sure he's gonna. Like I mentioned this.
He said something
before.
about a black and white movie.
Yeah, he was talking about his own like cyberpunk sci-fi film that he was writing after Looper, and I'm guessing maybe that it'll be easier for him to get funding when Episode 8 is a hit.
I just think it's funny, like Edgar Wright, you know, everyone was up in arms about him basically leaving Ant-Man, and now Ant-Man, before it's even out, is being praised for being one of the best Marvel movies up there with the first Iron Man.
Well, yeah, but it's also being praised. Like a lot of everything I'm hearing, it still feels like a right movie, and
Yeah,
he's got screenplay
well, I mean,
credit,
because
you know,
it is a
they
heist
did a rewrite
flick.
to fit it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I was getting at is
And
it's
you know,
directed
keep in mind,
by.
he left like 13 months ago. They were
Something like
building
that.
sets at that point. They had most of the casting done.
I mean, he still gets.
So it was, it was just probably tuned a little bit just to fit within that universe. And that's probably why Wright left. Is something similar. He didn't want the Alan Taylor experience.
What I meant.
Let's put it that
Well, I was
way.
gonna say funny. You cut me off a little early. I don't know if people know this. Ant-Man's directed by the guy that did the first Bring It On film.
Yeah, Peyton Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Bring It On. So that's why I'm excited about Ant-Man, like personally.
Yeah, no, I mean Peyton Reed, he's done good stuff. But, you know, he's got good comedic chops. I'm sure he'll get the humor right. It sounds like he already has, but we'll see. I'm sure that a lot of the action, it's probably a lot of cues have to be taken from Edgar Wright because he put a lot of work into it, and I'm sure that his seed is still there. He's got credit on the script, so his presence, it sounds like it's going to be felt. So I'm still looking forward to it, and I hope the movie's good, regardless of who directed it.
Yeah, we'll find out in a little less than 2 weeks. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Our next review is going to be, what is it? Oh, Selfless with Ryan Reynolds.
We're doing Selfless.
And then we have our first payday film commentary for Batman Forever coming soon. It should be online around the 15th of the month. So, yeah, thanks for listening. We hope this has been informative, but probably not.
It's been a bit of a mess. Well, I don't know. I think we talked about some good stuff.
Well, we're not the judge of that, so.
Yeah.
Uh,
I enjoyed talking to you, man.
well, likewise. But, it's about the audience. So if you enjoyed us talking, we'd love an email. Shoot us at dollar.review@gmail.com or anywhere on social media. We now have a WordPress, which is mostly for just publishing our podcast RSS feed. It's all being rebuilt from the ground up.
Yeah. Hey, though, just even tweet us just a question. I mean, just so we can have more semantic arguments about what a blockbuster is. Anything, really.
Even though we don't need that because we already know that the viewers agree with my definition.